Hey everyone, I'm Tom and welcome to the channel. November is looking to be a crazy month for sci-fi and fantasy readers. Let's go ahead and talk about what my reading plans are. Now we have to go ahead and start off with what I'm going to be finishing from October going into November. And first and foremost, it's got to be this, Disquiet Gods by Christopher Rocchio. This is book 6 of the Sun Eater saga. And obviously, book 7 comes out, Shadows Upon Time, and I'm going to the Sun Eater Gala, so I definitely have got to hurry up and finish this before that happens. Like I mentioned, a lot of new releases are coming out in this month, and so my reading plans are more than ever really up in the air because I could change my mind about anything that is going to happen. Obviously, Sun Eater has been my number one priority, and it is going to continue to be that. I'm going to be caught up. I'm very confident in that at this point. I will definitely be caught up for the gala. I will have read Dregs of Empire and Disquiet Gods just in time for Shadows Upon Time, which is, going to be just, I think something really special to go to the gala and all that fun stuff. And then also I'm going to just continue. I don't plan on finishing this probably in November either, but that is going to be Grand Conspiracy by Janny Wirtz. This is obviously a pretty massive book in of itself, and with some of the other massive stuff that is also coming out, I'm not sure how much time I would dedicate to it. I hate to admit it, but this has been getting the back burner to Pokemon ZA, Legends ZA, unfortunately. I've been playing it in bed, which has also just completely ruined my sleep schedule, which is not good for me. I definitely need to fix that. But I've been playing that instead of reading, which, I hate because I really like that series. I want it to be much further along in it than I am. But that will be, probably something I don't even finish till the end of December if I had to guess. That's just how slowly I read these books. One, because they're in print, and that's just as slow for me. I don't know. Is it Harper Voyager? Let's go ahead and get the audiobooks for the rest of the stuff. You have it for book 1 and then like book 11 and 10. Like, what are we doing here? But also, it just takes me a longer time to read. But those are going to be things that are going to be continuing / finished here that are bleeding over into November from October. And then obviously we have to talk about the new stuff, the stuff that I plan on finishing fresh, starting, all that fun stuff in the actual month of November. And I already mentioned it, but it is, Shadows Upon Time. I cracked myself up with this cover. I hope everyone thinks it's as funny as I do. But obviously, super excited for that one. Mentioned the gala already. So I think that means I technically get the book like 2 days early, even though I listened to the audiobooks. I don't know if I'll even start it on time. So that is definitely, something I'm really looking forward to. It looks like, I looked at the audiobook, it's about 26 hours, so shorter than Disquiet Gods. So I think I'll be able to finish it and still have a little bit of a buffer left in the month of November. And that's for the other new release that I'm interested in. I know the Strength of the Few is coming out as well. I have not read the Hierarchy series yet, so I don't have to worry about that book being released as well. But the one that I'm talking about that I didn't even make a cover for because it's just a maybe for this month, and that is going to be Empire of the Dawn. It actually comes out on November 4th, and this is, one of my favorite series of all time. It's the ending to it, and so the fact that Sun Eater and this are both ending in the same month is just like, it's great, but also awful because it's like, well, which one do I pick? If I had been smarter, I would have finished Disquiet Gods, by the end of October, which maybe I will. I doubt it. I really think it'll probably take me into that first week of November, which means I won't probably have time to finish Empire of the Dawn before I go and get Sun Eater. And I don't like to read 2 books at the anyway, that doesn't matter. But you can see the conundrum here of, I think I'm going to probably push off Empire of the Dawn depending on how long Shadows Upon Time and Disquiet Gods takes me to December, which I don't like. And that's why this TBR is so up in the air, because I don't know, I'm a mood reader. And so whatever I actually end up deciding to, I'll definitely, keep you updated in the weekly updates. I hate changing the plan in case anybody ever is reading along with me or like is excited to hear what I say I'm going to read. I try to really stick with it, at least for my monthly TBRs. But just know this month is going to be all over the place. If I don't just jump straight into Empire of the Dawn, I'm still going to try to pick up The Body from Stephen King. This was originally an October planned read, and I decided to just really focus in on Sun Eater so that I wasn't like not stressed. I wouldn't have been stressed. I feel like I could have shown up to the gala and not been caught up, but feels like it would have been a spoiler minefield. And I don't really want that. So that is definitely one from October that I would like to still do. It's very short, so this is kind of one of those ones where if like there's like a day or two in between when I finish Disquiet Gods and before I get Shadows Upon Time, it gives me a lot of flexibility there. And then this is also another one that I mentioned originally. I still don't know how to say the name of this book from the series, but this is the second book in Empire of Salt trilogy. It's a really fun, like fast-paced trilogy. Once again, this is like, I think this is like right around 300 pages again. So once again, depending on how much time I have in between the two mammoth books I want to read, I'll give that one a shot, maybe, once again, all of that. And then same again with this one, the Crypt of the Moon Spider. This is super short. This is like 80 pages. So once again, this falls into that category of like how I navigate Disquiet Gods, Shadows Upon Time, Empire of Dawn. Those are really there. Those last three are really in there to fill around the gaps of those ones. Because the more I think about it, the less I actually really want to push Empire of the Dawn into December. So, I'm going to be all over the place, unfortunately, with those ones. And so definitely bear with me here for the novel reading. And now let's go ahead and talk about comics and manga. So first and foremost, I would like to finish the second compendium of Invincible. I'm a little bit over halfway of that now, so this is technically bleeding in from October as well. But I think it's something that I can do pretty quickly. It's a comic book, so depending on how much text and dialogue, I can get through a lot. And then I probably won't jump straight into the third compendium. I would assume that Jesse and Andrew are going to want to talk about the second compendium like we did for the first one. So I don't want to like spoil myself for the third one before we talk about it, because I don't know, it would be fun to just like be able to go into it blind for the third one. And so once I finish that one, if I have time, I'm feeling comics, I would really like to do Kingdom Come. This is one of those like pinnacle series that I always hear people talk about and reference. And there's some really famous art in here. Alex Ross, like this art that is on the cover of this one is like some of the most highly praised. Like you see this art all over the place and people really, really love it. So I'd love to know like actually what goes on in this story, because I actually have no idea. Like, I'm a Superman fan. I like comics, but I'm not like a comic person, if that makes a whole lot of sense. So I'd like to do that. And I have mentioned this one before in the past, but the Justice League versus Godzilla versus King Kong, just like some awesome artwork in here. I would like to finally read this. This is also a short one that, I'll be honest, I don't even know if it's going to be good, but I don't know. I love Godzilla. I love kaiju kind of stuff. Like Pacific Rim's my favorite movie. So like, I love that kind of stuff. So I would love to do that as well this month. And then specifically on the manga front, I'm going to be honest, I have no motivation to read any manga right now. I think I'm going to blame Vinland Saga. I think the ending of Vinland Saga has really just like crushed that little spark I had. And so it'll come back. It's the kind of thing where once I read the last few comics that I have, like I'll want to go back to manga and get caught up in some of the series I'm on. But catching up to Vinland Saga and reading the ending and just, I think it really just kind of crushed how I was feeling towards the medium at that point, which is sad, but that is what it is. If you have recommendations for maybe something, I would want to read something short. If there's some like short manga that you think is like fun, that I don't have to commit like 18 years of my life to be disappointed at the end of it. I'm not bitter, I promise, I'm not. But I'm open to any of those recommendations. I just something to get that flame sparked again, because yeah, it's a whole bucket of water got poured on it, I think, from Vinland Saga. And the more I sit with that ending, it's like I still appreciate the ending, but doesn't mean I'm not disappointed in it as well. You can, if you're a Vinland Saga fan and have read it, you can tell me how beautiful it is and how the message is conveyed and all this stuff, but it just doesn't matter to me. But I'm going to stop rambling here. But that is my reading plans. Obviously, like I said, it is really up in the air depending on when I finish some of these long, big series, which is great. I'm excited to get to the end of these series, but it really just kind of depends on when I finish some of these things. So definitely let me know what you think of this TBR down below in the comments. Let me know what you plan on reading. Are you going to try to get Empire of the Dawn, Shadows Upon Time, and Strength of the Few all in this month of November? I think they all come out, so I'd be really curious on if you're going to try to tackle all three at the same time, because I feel like a lot of people are, or people are going to have to do what I'm doing, where they're like really weighing which one they want to do. So but yeah, definitely let me know all of that down below in the comments, or as always, you can hit me up on the Discord that is linked in the description. But remember to read what you want when you want.